Before we get into this video, if you guys are trying to get coached by me, make sure to check out the description down below and click on my MetaFight link. I offer all types of lessons and it will take you straight to it to where you guys can see what I offer. If that's what you guys are interested in. Anyways, with that out of the way, please enjoy the video.
Hey! Okay!
I am Ronan X, and welcome to my dojo. So, I guess let's go ahead and get into the meat of what we wanted to talk about. So, obviously, you know, I brought both you guys in because I really wanted a big portion of this to be targeted towards Ryu, because obviously I feel, and I don't know how you guys feel, which we're going to be getting into that, I feel like there were some pretty significant changes to the character, and he's already had a pretty well-developed meta from a lot of pro players such as you guys. So I just kind of wanted to play off of that and just kind of see what your guys' thoughts were about the buffs in general. So I'll go ahead and start with you, Vendetta.
All right. So I think initially, you know, see, number one, like I mean, I think Ryu that was just really unexpected. You really wouldn't expect him to touch like shoulders again. No, you know, nonetheless Ryu. But anyways, you know, the Tatsu change, I think that was cool. It definitely can make somewhat of a small difference. It isn't the biggest, but I definitely can see like how it could be like frames off of you getting punished using it on like hit as a knot or something. And then the combo breaker was nice. That's a nice touch. Obviously, the fireball was the biggest and the most important thing. And at first, it really didn't seem like it was a lot just because it was just more damage. But then you see a lot of people saying, well, oh, this can actually be much more of a neutral tool since it beats like multi-hits now and goes through certain things. It goes through certain things, you know. It's something that's something about that fireball is actually very, very messed up now. It's like very messed up. I thought it was a little messed up before. That one was not okay now. So what pretty much what my opinion probably happened, and you probably agree with this, is that what they pretty much made fireball like what Ryu was truly designed to be.
Yep.
It was just it wasn't necessarily underwhelming pre-patch. It was just more so like this isn't enough. This is we want to really make it so that this is Ryu's like true strength really coming out, and I think they kind of captured that there. So I'm thinking that, you know, initially I didn't think it was too much, but now that I see it's kind of like meta changing for like his I guess his like his matchups a bit. I mean, not that tiers really matter. I just think that he's definitely a better character now. And I think we'll just keep discovering things from him. But I know Ikan's got to be happy since he's the solo Ryu.
I'm smiling ear to ear, bro. It's been great.
So that's cool. So, do you have anything else to add to that, Vendetta?
I mean, other than that, I think, like, you know, like I used to play like Ken for the Mega Match just because I feel like Ryu just kind of not got destroyed, but when Ryu has to go, like he has to play opposite of what he's kind of meant for, as in like zoning, it like rush down Ryu is just not it. He's not it. It's just not good. He can do it, but like it's not like trying to rush down against like zoners is just not for me and with him. So then, you know, seeing him like being able to throw the projectile through like pellets like that, I think that's like an instant game changer, because trying to get into 10-2 is like not it doesn't make it any better, although it's like that advantage state in speed. But yeah, dude, I'm just a lot of matches become easier. He's definitely better at what he does, and hopefully we get to see more things that kind of pop up. I feel like we've kind of reached that point where maybe we've run out of, you know, things that the fireball changes have really, you know, picked up on, but maybe we will. It's cool though. It's cool. I think Ryu is just, you know, they could have made it. They could have reduced the heavy down tilt, the angle on it, the knockback. But you know what? That all comes down to, like, you know, counterplaying, kind of adapting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a player thing. Yeah.
Okay, so that's good. We're gonna be getting more into matchups and stuff like that soon, but I'm gonna go ahead and give Ikan the floor. So Ikan, I just kind of wanted to see, because you've already started competing since the changes and everything like this with Ryu. I don't know if you've won any tournaments since then. So what's your thoughts so far on, you know, what you feel about the character so far after the buff?
Well, So I had 2 tournaments in the past week that I went to. One was a small collegiate tournament on Sunday just to support my collegiate scene because college student lifestyle. And then I went to Ignition last night, and I actually took it only dropping 1 game. So that was pretty nice. Yeah, it was really great. And in terms of the changes, I think it's a lot of quality of life. So I guess I'll go from change to change, from least to most important. The Tatsu change was the least important. I think the only situation that really helps in is the fast spellers. If you did hard down tilt Tatsu, could punish you for it because they just fell faster and they just hate you. But that was already kind of a niche situation because if you were using Tatsu on a fast speller, you're kind of getting punished no matter what instead of Fireball. So it's a nice, helpful change, quality of life, nothing too crazy. The collarbone change, I think, is something that nobody's really talking about because I think in a tournament style where you can kind of condition different escape options and force people to shield more, I think having those 2 frames off from 16 to 14 is pretty important because 2 frames changes a lot in this game, and being able to... Collarbone was a move I barely used pre-patch because I was like, it's so slow, why would I waste my time doing that when I could just like read their escape option, jump, roll, spot dodge, etc. So I just go for the read if I was hitting a shield, but now you can actually just break it, which is awesome. Still quality of life, nothing too substantial. I think I agree with Vendetta completely. The Fireball change was kind of messed up, and I didn't really realize it until yesterday. The best way I can describe it is for those weaker zoning moves where we kind of didn't have an answer. I think of, for example, Blizzwall. I think of Sonic Spin Dash. I thought of Sonic yesterday. I can talk about that more later. For example, Mega Man Pellets. These were moves where Ryu didn't really have an option from the mid to long range. All he had was his movement and baiting. But now we have an actual counter option to kind of, instead of playing second fiddle, we can kind of dictate the pace of the match a little bit better, which I think in a game like Ultimate, where everything is so spontaneous, is really important. So, yeah, definitely love the Fireball change. Damage output can save 1 neutral interaction against lighter characters. That's huge. Sometimes you just don't want to play neutral. You don't have to. So, love that. And, yeah, honestly, I think the changes are really, really helpful in kind of changing some matchups, more so than improving the character's viability. So he'll probably stay around the same place, nothing too crazy, but he'll have some better times and some better matchups. So I'm thankful we got anything at all, to be honest. So pretty good stuff all around.
Okay, so I've sat and I've pondered on it for a while, and I also went to a weekly and I just went solo Ryu pretty much, and I did pretty well. And the first thing I really started to notice, why I personally think that this is pretty meta changing for the character, is for a couple of things. First off is the fact that our pressure in general has gotten better because of how much better Shaku Hover has gotten in certain situations. Mainly in situations where, if you put someone in knockdown and set up Shaku Hover, even if they have, good out-of-shield options, there's so many different ways that we can get creative and just kind of jail them in shield and possibly even get shield breaks, which... that's very significant, I feel, in a lot of ways. Better damage output on our bread and butters to get them closer to kill percent is also a big deal. Obviously, I agree that, Collarbone Breaker and, Tatsu having, 2 frames less lag, that's definitely super helpful. But the Fireball game is honestly what was the biggest game changer. And the reason, my key reason why I think this is going to be meta changing is because so many matchups have changed. Which we're going to be getting into that, but I'm going to give one example because that's probably going to be the next segment we're going to go into and kind of go down the list to let you guys kind of talk about what you've learned about certain matchups that you might not like before. But starting off, the first thing I noticed what changed was the Toon Link matchup. Non-input Hadouken just blows up their bombs now for free, and they can't do anything about it. And it just means that certain characters that just didn't have to respect our zoning as much is going to have to, just because of the higher damage and higher priority, which you guys kind of touched on that already a little bit. And I feel like that's just enough to push enough matchups to at least slightly winning, or to even on certain matchups that were, a little more annoying. So, is it a massive change? I agree with you, no. But it's enough of a change to actually give him a nudge in the right direction to make him better at what he's already good at. Walling you out, zoning you, and just playing really strong footsies and controlling center stage. Because now that you have to respect these options, especially Shakunetsu, because the fact that 2 Shakus on block is a guaranteed shield poke now is not okay. Okay, I'm sorry. That is peak horseshit. You absolutely just have to hold that, and there's not a whole lot you can do. So the fact that we can just condition people to always pick panic options to work around Shakunetsu, and it's going to be free conditioning to get either like jump up airs, jump nairs, panic roll ins, or whatever is a really big deal. Not to mention the fact that some jabs even lose the Hadouken, so you can't even jab that move. Even before, I mean, you could like punish the clank lag, right? Like if you use slower forms if they do that, but now it just hits them. Now, another thing that not enough people have been talking about is that input Hadouken actually has more shield pushback than it used to. Like, I actually find that to be very significant because one of our strongest poke tools, and I see Vendetta used it against me a lot last night, is hard down tilt Hadouken. The fact that that actually has decent shield pushback now makes that pretty safe on a lot of characters. And I'm kind of glad that they did that because that's always been like the bread and butter safe poke combo in neutral for Ryu. And now it just got significantly better. And it's just like little things like that. And I do believe for like people who are like truly masters of the character, that's going to matter a lot in the long run.
Agreed, completely.
Okay.
It's really, really wild to just see how, if you just use Blue Hado, like, that's a move, input Blue Hado, none of us used it pre-match, dude. There was no reason to. But you just press B, you get the same input. I mean, the 2% damage doesn't change much, right? But now that priority changes a lot of things, dude. It's wild.
Absolutely. So, Vendetta, I was going to go ahead and pass it off to you and just kind of see, like, I know you've been doing a lot of grinding with Ryu here recently, and I just kind of wanted to see, like, what matchups do you feel have been significantly changed from this buff?
Oh, let's see. I say number one, matchups that you just kind of have to deal with multi-hits and neutral, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, Pikachu probably is, like, a good one.
Yes.
So I'm pretty sure input Hado goes through his aerials. Although, the thing is, you could just use your intangible pokes as well to go through, like, that stuff. But you have another tool to kind of just set the pace. Like, you can, I don't know if you use using, like, a slow one, like, in neutral, like, if you hover, like, a slow one, would just kind of make it so that it would still penetrate through, like, the aerials and stuff. Because if that's the case, then that's like you have something in the air and you have yourself on the ground. Yeah, sure, you have T-jokes, but it's kind of like Phantom, where like if you do set one up in the air, this is just theory crafting, of course. But like if you did like hover one in the air, like a hip Hado, and then like you're on the ground, it's like the Pikachu can't really jump over that unless it didn't actually work out. But overall, it's like, I think just having that in the multi-hit matchups is fine. Stronger damage, that it is what it is. You're gonna go for a lot more Shaku like combo finishers anyways. I used to go for a lot of like light Tatsus just to like travel across the stage, but depending on where I am, I'm probably gonna use a lot more Fire Blinders, but I mean there's that. And then probably like I said, multi-hit matchups, Palutena, because you have to deal with that in air. So
that's so great.
Like I said, intangible pokes really just knock it out anyways, but like the fact that you can still keep from a distance and not have to really worry about risking those kinds of tools is pretty cool. Mega Man I think is probably the biggest one, has to be the biggest one. I mean personally I have not grinded it yet, but just from like, just kind of understanding what's happening in that matchup, I think I'm gonna start using Ryu over Ken. I'll have to see, but it's looking like Ryu would be the better pick, just because I don't have to force neutral interactions like I do with Ken, which is uncomfortable. But I try to make it work. I make it work somehow because I usually beat Peevna. He's one of the best all Mega Mans out there, but it's not a comfortable matchup. It's not. Let's see. Snake definitely became a maybe. I mean, I know that depending on how the snake tosses the grenade, I know that it can explode, but if he like lobs it at you, just like straight up like throws it, or even item tosses it when he like Z drops it and grabs it and picks it up, like it won't explode, but like it'll explode if he does like the regular like soft toss and the regular like tossing it up, it'll explode like that with Impahado. So I guess that could be something, but I think technically it got better, technically.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he can't hold on to the grenades like he really wants to. There's more shield stun, right? It's a lot going on there. Other than that, though, I guess include all multi-hits. Include, things that like we have to use like a Fireball War like a Snake matchup. I think that is a Fireball War matchup. People kind of got off you. They said, "Oh, just crouch, bro. You don't know what you're talking about." I'm like, I mean. If it really were, I've played snakes that have done that. It doesn't really. I mean, it helps, but like they abandoned. They abandon neutral. They abandon neutral. Like they can't. So if they do it, they abandon neutral. I just like, well, I'll just jump. But there is counterplay to jumping in, but there's also counterplay to that. So my whole point is like, you can crouch all you want, you can call me stupid, but now you don't play snake neutral anymore, and now everything's kind of different. But yeah, just wanted to see more and more on it. And that's really all I have to say. I mean, I'm still more of a Ken main, and I'm still I do main both, but like I more so rely on Ken. So, I mean, yeah. Take it from here, Ikan.
Okay. So I just wanted to go ahead and say, like, yeah, I pretty much agree with everything you said there. I feel like there's definitely going to be a lot more matchups in the future that we're going to see that have gotten a lot better for Ryu. But for now, I feel like we're in a pretty good spot. I think that, I'll get into what I think here in a minute. I want to go ahead and give Ikan the floor for now. Ikan,
thank you.
Go ahead and tell me what you think, man, because you're the one who's been playing in bracket here recently, so.
Oh, yeah, dude. First off, my favorite thing is when people say, like, just do this as like a one-word answer to win matchups, when that's not how this game works at all.
Yeah.
But so when Vendettas said just crouch, I was losing my mind. But okay, a lot of us have been talking about like the projectiles and all those different changes, but dude, my mind has been changed. The matchup that has changed the most, nobody's gonna agree with me, but I've seen it happen firsthand. Sonic the Hedgehog, dude.
Really?
That matchup has changed completely.
Really?
All right, let me explain. Okay, so quick little mini story. All right, I'm a collegiate student, right? So we have a lot of college locals in Chicago. The week before Thanksgiving, I go to a college tournament in downtown Chicago. Okay, and I'm seated first, so everything is good. This unranked CFL Sonic here for Thanksgiving waxes me 2-1. Okay. So I'm out in like losers round 1. I make a losers run to top 8, and then I get destroyed. But I'm going home thinking like, dude, I just got waxed by Sonic on the plane from Chicago to Cali, right? So I'm just thinking about Sonic, right? I'm looking through every single Shota VOD. I was watching Smash 4 VODs. I was watching Vendettas VODs with Rap. I was watching everything. I was studying this matchup, and I was like, dude, this looks hard. This looks unwinnable. There's no way we win this. It's over. I need to pick up another character. I'm bringing back the Wi-Fi Steve. There's no way I'm winning Ryu Sonic, right?
Not the Steve! Oh, I have PTSD of the Steve, bro. Jesus.
There's no way, okay? Sakurai hears me, says, you know what, I can take this Hado buff. I'm like, what's this gonna do? God, what's this gonna do, okay? So I go into labbing, all right? I have a college friend of mine, mash down B, all right? Just test Sonic stuff, okay? And I found out some interesting information, okay? So, when a grounded move like spin dash or spin charge clanks with a projectile, the more damage the projectile does, the longer Sonic is stuck in clank lag, okay?
Really?
So pre-patch, Sonic would clank with Shaku and Hado later on. So if he didn't iframe through it, he would clank with it. But the clank lag was so minimal because the fireballs didn't do enough damage. So he would just clank and then punish me because I'm still doing the Hadouken lag, okay? So I'm like, dang, that's pointless. I need to hit him and get lucky. And it's essentially RNG if you clank or hit. It's like the way the spin dash moves. It's really weird. I've laughed a lot, okay?
Yes.
Unless he iframes through it, he's either going to get hit or clank, okay? But then post-patch, the Hado buffs come in. That 2% difference, okay? If you do a slow Hado, which does, I think, 13.8 or 14, I don't remember, Sonic clanks for so long to the point where Ryu has enough time to dash grab, dash down smash, dash nair, do whatever he wants if Ryu is out of fireball lag and Sonic spin dashes and gives Ryu enough time. What does that mean? Slow Hado is actually viable in the matchup, and I played against Pow Pow, number 4 in Wisconsin yesterday, and I won a convincing 3-up.
Oh, wow.
Which was the straight ego booster of my life. I can link you the bot if you want. It's going to be on YouTube later. But that was one of the best sets of Ultimate I think I've played in my life. And I think I felt so confident playing against that blue little rat because the more damage, the clank, taking advantage, and getting interactions is so mind-numbingly beautiful. Okay? So this doesn't change much, right? You can still have to recover in the matchup, but we can now have some kind of threat on the field that Sonic has to actually worry about. And then Pow Pow told me after, like, yeah, I think Ryu might win now, which I thought was mind-blowing. This unwinnable matchup might now be even or even, like, winning for Ryu. Probably not. It's probably even or -1 still. But regardless, matchup charts or whatever, player is always what matters.
Yes.
That matchup has changed for me, and it was such a nice check to lab a matchup, go home, come back here, and feel way more confident against Sonic the Goddamn Hedgehog.
That's amazing.
Oh.
That's actually super hype. I did not know that. I thought maybe that matchup would have changed because I labbed the Clank and everything like that, and I felt like the matchup was doable but hard. But now that's actually a very significant change because like Hadouken is such an important aspect of that matchup, and I'm pretty sure Vendetta can definitely agree with me on that. Vendetta, go clap Wrath for me, please. Go fucking do it.
Yes.
But do us all a favor.
Dude. You can do it. You can do it, dude. It's so doable.
I mean, like, I when we were grinding at Smash Bros. 4, I was using just straight up Ken because Ken was like the most used character for me. But I mean, I guess, yeah. I mean, I usually play Ryu against him anyways. I know we did that first attempt that bot that Ikan was talking about. That's the last time I fought him was like with Ryu was online, and it was like 10-8 last time. He won 10-8.
And that's online, by the way. Online Sonic, right?
Yeah, that's 100% honest. So I mean, I'm confident I can do it, especially with these unnecessary buffs.
Unnecessary.
Maybe spin dash. I know spin dash clanked a lot, and I know spin dash. You know, yeah, I know it clanked a lot. Sometimes though, the positioning on it is kind of weird, but like it can kind of go underneath. But whole point is that I feel like maybe Shaku or just the input Hadouken in general will probably have like that priority over the spin dash. I think at least. I think from like if you think from like a hypothetical like standpoint, but. I think, this matchup is technically better for us.
It's so much better, dude. I feel like I actually have an answer to him spinning in the corner. It's amazing.
There's nothing more tilting than seeing him spinning in the corner. I hate it so much.
Dude, I almost camped out the Sonic, bro. There was less than 1 minute 40 on the clock. I could have camped him.
There's times when you just kind of have to in that matchup, dude. It's that obnoxious.
Yeah. Ryu can now actually camp Sonic. Who thought? Like, it's wild.
Yeah, you gotta watch out though. One thing I will say in the matchup is when you do get used to the fireball, you gotta watch out for those homing attacks.
Yeah, the homing attacks. The homing attack. Yeah, but now he's doing something that isn't Ree in the corner, It's just doing it over and over, and I'm like, well, what do I do now? I have no distance pokes, right? So
do you use the Shaku or the input Hado?
Input Hado the whole set, dude. I used solely slow blue input Hado. Oh my god. Yeah, it's crazy. I'm actually gonna link you right here. This is the interaction that I popped off when I saw it.
Hold on. I'm gonna
Pull it up. This was yes, this was insane. Okay, this is the moment where I was losing my mind. I was like, yeah. And I actually do a mini pop off in a later one. I'm gonna send you another timestamp. Because I've analyzed this VOD so much, and this has been like insane to me. Sonic was definitely like an ego check for sure. Because God, this character was insane.
Alright, some of you guys can see this okay.
Yeah, I see it.
He looks fine, yeah.
Alright, cool. Alright, here we go. Let's see what this interaction was
pop off. I gotta see this pop off. Are you gonna pop off again, Ikan?
Oh, I didn't pop up onto this one. There's another one I pop up on.
Hold on.
Okay. No way, is he just really stuck there?
He's stuck that long, dude. Yeah.
Dude, that's insane. What?
Yeah.
Bro, that's a pivot forward tilt. There's so much that can be done there.
Oh.
Alright, I'm sending you another one. Here's another one right here. And this is the same interaction.
Bro. That is okay, hold on. Let me go in.
Click the next one. Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
This is just the point of this is he has to do something else now. That's like the most mind-blowing thing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's his neutral too. Like if you have to change someone from doing a neutral, I think that's a big game changer.
Yeah. Now he has to shield. He has to jump. Yeah.
Okay,
look at that.
See this?
No, you're not streaming anymore.
Okay, hold on, I'm gonna stream it right now. Hold on. Let me pull this up right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
can see it, but yeah.
Okay, here you go. All right, here we go.
Yes.
So I'm gonna go ahead and hit play now.
Okay. Cool.
Yep.
So there's the parry, nair.
Okay. And it doesn't matter how stale it is. It's like 4 stales or something.
Bro, what the hell?
Dude! I was smiling ear to ear mid bracket, bro. It was so funny.
Dude.
Sonic used to not care, dude. He has to do other things now.
Yeah, he actually has to respect us on the ground. That is massive.
It's insane.
Dude.
Yeah. The matchup's changed.
Why does Ryu get to like make this man not play neutral anymore? That's kind of funny.
That's actually absurd. That's definitely big, like big change.
There are 2 minutes left on the clock, dude. Look at that. I'm gonna stock up.
Bro.
Yeah, you might as well just not approach. There's no point. I mean, you could probably
no. I kill him with up throw, dude. Up throw.
I actually kind of want to watch this play out.
Yeah, no, look at this. 195.
God.
Dude, you could have down smashed there. You could have Tatsu'd. Dude, that's horseshit. No, that's actually massive for the matchup. But
No, it changes everything, dude.
It actually does. That is actually insane. So
Yeah.
that's definitely a matchup that's changed a lot.
That's my number one. That's the one that's by far number one. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So like in a case like this, I think we're going to be seeing a lot of situations where we're going to be seeing a lot of these kind of matchups change like that. I'm glad that that's one of the more annoying. That's one of them, because that's been one of the most annoying matchups for Ryu since Smash 4 for a grip, and now we actually have something. Yeah, we actually have something that's going to be able to control neutral now. So that's
something. It's a tool. It's something, dude.
That's that's actually genuinely insane.
Well, here's something I want to mention though. Scaling is still important for this, but for Sonic specifically, I think we get 4 or 5 before it gets like really, really bad. You have to like watch the scaling. Like there's some moves where if you use like 2 autos, like 2 fast ones, then it's gone. Like I know like Blizzard is like 2, I think, but then there's others where it's like you can have 4 or something stupid. So I think this one is like a 4 situation, because I was using that blue auto all day, bro. It was my life. It was amazing.
Interesting thing being said in chat. Apparently, strong, fresh input Hadouken now clanks with a fully charged charge shot for Samus. And do you guys think that changes the matchup? What do you think, Vendetta?
So when we say strong, we mean like the fast version?
I'm not exactly sure. I'm guessing that's what they mean.
Okay, so if it really is the fast version, as I think, I don't know how I feel about that necessarily. I mean, I guess if that word should be a good thing, because like that would clank it out, but like at the same time, you don't really get anything off of it, I suppose. It's like if it were like the slow one, then I'd be like, oh, okay, wow, that'd be kind of cool. But then you realize like, oh, if it's the fast one, I probably shooting it from like mid range, and then I cancel it out. I mean, I guess like she has to charge it all over again. I guess that could be fine, but that matchup's gross, so I'm sticking to Ken.
Right. So yeah, for a matchup like that, like having better pressure is honestly more important for zoner matchups. I feel, and I feel like Ken. I think you won't disagree with me on this, on this Vendetta, but I feel like the majority of zoners get dumpstered by good Ken.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of how he's intended to be. Like a good Ken is the proper Ken. Put it like that. And that Ken has zone breaking tools. He has a Tatsu, right? Doesn't matter how many people tell you like Tatsu's bad. I don't care. It's not true. Okay, Tatsu's not bad. It doesn't matter if it's negative on hit. Use it the right way, and you won't have to complain about it. Tatsu is a good burst option. His intangible, his pokes that he used to kind of get in there, when properly used, right? Community
properly used.
Yeah. All emphasis on properly, you monkeys.
I mean, the community is just kind of like brainwashed to the point where they believe, like, because I made a poll about this a couple of days ago. I said, what are Shoto's best approach options?
Oh, no. And
I believe it ended, right? I said down tilts, nair, Tatsu, and I said mid-range pokes, pretty much.
Yeah.
And I think the fact that I said mid-range pokes kind of gave it away, like, that might be the right answer. That sounds right. But to truth be told, most people said the other 3 options beside mid-range pokes, and it was like a general question. It was like generally what's their best approach options. I think mid-range pokes is, but I saw like the second, which was like maybe 20%, around 30% said nair, and I understood like a lot of people kind of commented as well on other posts and said like, yeah, Shio's usually nair to me. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense, and that's where a lot of people's like opinions come from in the matchup. So when you get like a good Ken or even like a good Ryu, right? A good Ken is not really going to use nair all the time unless they're playing against Min, and they're gonna stay more grounded, and that's why I'm pretty certain like not only is like Ken Samus like not only like at least even, I really think Ken wins the matchup. Like people are gonna think I'm crazy.
Yeah.
You're gonna think I'm crazy.
No, I don't think you're crazy at all, actually.
That's bold. I don't know. I don't play Ken, so I can't really say much, but that sounds bold, man. But if anyone can do it, you can show it. So honestly,
yeah. Other than that, though, like I don't really remember all the zoners. Like Min too. I think that's a very optimistic win for Ken. I think it's probably just even, but I don't know.
Even after the nerfs, my guy, those nerfs were heavy.
Oh, I forgot about the nerfs.
Bro, that character got neutered. Bro, there
Oh,
ain't nothing
man.
left. They took the bone off the chicken on that character, bro. That character gone.
Okay,
Maybe.
that's interesting. That's definitely interesting. But yeah. Oh, Quark says that slow does too against the fully charged. So
That's actually significant.
kind of. I mean, if you input Hado hover, then they have to respect it unless they throw like an aerial, I suppose. But then if you predict that, then you're already on the ground. Just kind of go poke at them and then, you know. Yeah, I guess that's a cool thing. That's cool, but I don't know. Yeah, I guess Ken technically got better after some nerfs from characters. I guess like Min Min and then main point Ryu. But yeah, Ken against zoners. Yeah, play the proper Ken, and he actually he's a lot better. My matchup charts may look like BS, but I promise you, not all of it is optimism.
I feel that. So let's go ahead and get back on Ryu, and I just wanted to come ahead. So we talked about Sonic. We've talked a little about like how Snake's been different. I mentioned a little bit about how much better Toon Link feels, and just we also mentioned like vaguely on things about Pikachu, and I actually did lab the Pikachu stuff, and it does go through every single one of their aerials except down air and up air, which I believe to be pretty significant, because now you can do things like Hadoken hover, and if they like, how they like to like set up T-Jolt to go under Hadoken hover a lot of times, if you buffer parry, like you're able to immediately like buffer things like tilts or anything like that afterwards and kind of stuff them out from that kind of approach. So essentially we can wall them out more efficiently, because in my opinion, that's always how the matchup's been played. The Pikachu matchup is actually a matchup I know pretty well just because I've played it for years. Even in Smash 4, it hasn't changed a whole lot. It's just we have better tools to deal with it now just because of how meaty our hitboxes are, mainly things like Nair and stuff like that. And I'm sure you can agree with that, Vendetta. So, and like whenever it comes to that, I feel like it's going to be a lot of situations like that. It's like the matchup hasn't changed a whole lot. It's just there's more respect that has to be had for Ryu.
Something I want to touch on is I remember Vendetta was talking about Ken being this zone breaker, and I think it's actually really true, because here's the thing, right? Ken is supposed to be the one that's like walled out, and he can't really get in. But the thing is, like, if you as a player are able to get in on the zoners, you're going to have a better time than Ryu will in those tougher matchups, because you have that speed, you have that, the combo game, the vortex, right? So if you as a player, right, Shotos are this is such a player dependent game. I say players so much, but Shotos are such player dependent characters. Because we have to work around a lot of like BS, I guess you can say. Like we have to work around like a bunch of weird mechanics. But like if you work around them, you get rewarded by getting more information. My opponent SDI is this way. My opponent DI is in this way. My opponent wants to jump away this way, because Shotos by nature condition different options. Like you don't want to spot dodge against them. You don't really want to shield against them. They're gonna pick more escape options. It's kind of like free conditioning based off the character, which low-key is designed for a top tier, but we don't want to talk about that. But we're not top tier. But yeah. No, I think being able to condition options just by nature of your character is something that's very undervalued in Ultimate. So seeing people do that, especially post Ryu buffs, is very, very huge.
Yeah, because what the thing is always made Ryu good. Obviously, I'll say this: there are certain aspects of the character, in my opinion, that are top tier about him. And that's undoubtedly his neutral. I think he's got one of the strongest neutrals in the game. I think it's very fucking good, especially after the Hadoken buffs. Like obviously, disadvantage and stuff like that can be hard in some other aspects of certain matchups, but the thing that always made Ryu so strong is he has the tools to work around just about anything you put in front of him, and that's just kind of a Shoto aspect, because Ken does something very similar. So I can definitely see where you're coming from there. It's like, yeah, is this character good enough to win? The answer is yes. You're already showing that Ikan. He was already good enough to win before. So now it's just a matter of what will this mean now that certain matchups have gotten much better. And meta matchups like Pikachu, matchups like Sonic, like that is very, very important. Especially now that, even like certain zoners that used to be able to just outbox Hadoken, Mega Man, now that they actually have to respect his zoning tools, like I don't think there's an argument out there that can really say that this is not significantly meta changing to a point to where it's going to change, like, who's able to beat who now that certain counterplay got counterplay to it now.
I agree, dude. People forget these characters are hard, man.
Oh yeah.
These characters are not easy, right? And with like of course, like easier characters in bracket are probably going to have a better time than the harder characters, because they can just, they have more options and you don't have to think as hard about, your specific character stuff, right? But the hard characters are hard for a reason, and they're underplayed in bracket for a reason. I was actually talking about this with Ned, and we were like, dude, Sephiroth's hard, dude. That character, sure, a lot of broken moves, a lot of great stuff, but you mess up once, you can die at 70, dude.
Mm-hmm.
In a high intense bracket environment, that's tough, right?
Yeah.
That's tiring. And there are no Sephiroths besides him leading the charge, right? Why do you think so? He's putting in the time, he's putting in the effort, right?
Yeah.
It's hard. Hard characters are hard, and it's gonna take more time for them to succeed, but they still can do it.
Yeah. I don't really know exactly. Like, I guess like with Ryu, like versus like Ken when it comes to like Sephiroth. I remember when I was first grinding them. I grinded the matchup with Tweak a lot. Ken Sephiroth. I played Ryu Sephiroth once, but I mostly did it with Ken, and I just felt like Ryu could totally Ryu could like blow him up at like 30 or 40. Like it's like he can like wall Ryu out. Like it's not really that hard to, and it's not really that hard for Ryu to get. It's just like that one interaction. If you mess up like Ikan's head, it's like, oh, you're probably dead. But when it comes to like Ken being that zone breaker, right? He gets in on him, and like Sephiroth gets messed up. I think Ken convincingly wins the matchup compared to like Ryu just like maybe, I don't know necessarily losing, but I think Ryu just has to kind of just play really well. But I think Ken just kind of just does really well in the matchup, and I'm saying all this from experience with Tweak.
Yes.
So, like you said, like our matchups are hard. It's like Aegis 2. I just don't really want to talk about that matchup. I consider Ryu. It's so heartbreaking.
God, yeah.
Okay. So, like, yeah, the one thing I did learn about the Sephiroth matchup is the fact that Hadouken just doesn't give a shit about side B anymore is honestly really important.
What happens? Like, what happens? I heard
it just goes through it, and you hit him.
It doesn't break it. It breaks side B too?
Yep, it just goes through the side B, and it hits him. And it him in the face. So
okay, hold on. I'm gonna call you guys out. This is all propaganda, alright?
Oh, no.
Is it?
This is propaganda. You know why it's propaganda?
Why?
Alright. It only works against level 1 Shadow Player. If he charges it for half a second longer, it goes through everything.
Oh, okay.
So, in other words, okay, the only situation you should be using Hado against Sep is fast fireball from afar, and he doesn't have enough time to charge up the Shadow Player, so you get like a free 10 damage. That's it. It's not going to change the matchup. It's going to still be the same.
It's the stuff him out from using that option in the first place. I mean, that still helps a little bit, but I can definitely see what you mean.
Oh yeah, it's no Sonic change. No. It's no Snake change. But it's still, it's a change. We'll take it.
Okay.
I'll shut it up. Yeah. I'm a realist. I say how it is.
That's fine, bro. It's fine. I mean, you got Ned in your region, so you know better than both of us, so that's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that's kind of like my only real take when it comes to Ryu right now is that I do expect to see more of this going on, especially that we have Ikan still pushing the character. And I was gonna ask you, Vendetta. I know that you're saying your main man is Ken, and I totally understand. Ken is fucking broken. But will these Ryu changes like actually have you like bringing him out more in bracket and possibly testing out against more matchups and stuff like this? I mean, I know you're gonna grind the character obviously because I just know that you're invested in both Shotos. But like, do you see yourself going Ryu more in bracket in certain matchups more so than Ken? Than how you felt in the past already?
Only ones where like I said, like potentially the Mega Man one, like just because it's that much of a drastic difference. But I'm gonna be honest with you, like I've thought about this. If we're talking like it beats multi-hits and he's a really good zone. He kind of does what he does, and like even if there are matches where Ken does better, like Ryu just kind of says like, I do better, I do my job better, I can totally do it here too, man. Don't worry, I got your back. It's like, I'm probably not going to. It's probably not going to change much about what I do with Ryu, unless it's like a significant change, like the Mega Man, like Impado kind of beating through the Blizz wall, like fresh, I think.
2 times fast, 1 time slow.
Okay, yeah. So like significant changes. Otherwise, I'm going to stick with Ken. That's just what it is. I feel Ken is much more equipped to do it because there's something something I heard not too long ago about this game, and I'm kind of understanding what it means. Like I used to think like neutral was like just the pinnacle of everything, because you think about it, you look at like traditional fighting games, man. Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, whatever. Like Guilty Gear. I don't know how Guilty Gear's neutral is, but you get the idea. Like traditionals, right? So, but then you look at Smash, like yeah, I play good neutral and I should win, and that's true. But then they get to know you once, and then like, oh well, there's Smash Bros for you. So it's like this game is becoming more advantage based.
Yep.
And it's like becoming where it's like I kind of called this out like a while back too, that CQC rushdown characters are gonna like dominate the meta for this game. And Ken is one of them. Like, Ryu's neutral is good and all. It is, believe me, he's a good character. But I think where Ryu's going to struggle, where Ken doesn't, is having to keep playing the whole tedious just zoning game over and over and over and over and over again. Yeah, he can play CQC as well, but he doesn't have like the proper tools, in my opinion, to really get in. Yeah, you can Hado hover, but that's not significant enough. That's not significant enough for me to kind of believe like, well, he can do the job just as well as Ken. Like, Ken can cheese his opponents, and I think that's what people, even if you don't agree like Ken's better or Ryu's better, I don't care. I don't care which one's better. It's like Ken has the advantage of, I can get in and I can blow you up. I don't care how much of a deficit I am. I can just take it from you. Ryu's just like more of the honest, like, yeah, I'm just gonna keep doing my job, kind of like that.
Man, just working a 9 to 5, doing his thing. I mean, I definitely see where you're coming from there, and like whenever it comes to like the ability to vortex and stuff like that, and just certain positions, obviously Ken does it better mobility for a couple of situations. But I will say this: Ryu's advantage state is definitely being under.
It's not bad, dude. It's not bad. Yeah, it's not bad.
I honestly like Nair at ledge is horseshit. Nair at ledge is honestly ridiculous, and just the ways that he can condition you at ledge is just broken. That's like that's just Shoto 101. Is how good is your ledge trapping? Because if you're ledge trapping shit, your Shotos are shit. But whenever it comes to air coverage, just because of the input, Ikan, I know that a lot of people feel like Ken's air-to-air game is better, which I personally do. But the more I sit and think about it, like having that disjointed nair, having, you know, still the same fair that's also really good, and an invincible up air, it's all great to have those kind of tools to kind of wall people out from trying to force center stage, which you understand this concept. I see you use it all the time, Vendetta. And it's like, I feel like his advantage state is still very good. I will admit, Ken's is definitely better. There's no contest there. But like, for what he wants to do, it's still effective. And I was going to go ahead and kind of let you expand on that, Ikan, and see what you think of that.
So, I don't want to say I'm a Ken hater. All right, I think Ken is cool. All right, Ken is cool. But
say what's on your mind, man. Say what's on your mind.
I just never click with the character. I don't know. Maybe I just can't play him. But like, I think the big thing is, I agree completely. Ken's vortexing is actually absurd, and being able to force those options is wild. I think in Ultimate, agree. Aggression is really, really huge, and being able to have advantage state. I think you need a passable, like, neutral from the mid-range to, like, get any meaningful damage, which is why I feel like as Ken, I feel limited without the Hado, without the up air, right? So even though you get so much more reward for getting in, I guess I personally, I know Ken is, this is just me as a player, I need some kind of, like, something that the opponent needs to worry about at least a little bit. And even if they can swat it away or like whatever, that's still some kind of reaction that I play off of. So I think as a Ryu player, I'm used to seeing those reactions and priming those reactions to get the openings, right? Whereas I think Ken is more so just, okay, once he's got in, go for the advantage state, catch this air dodge away, catch this SDI in, you know, catch all that, right? I think I'm more of a neutral place player, but I also feel like you need a passable neutral and a passable advantage. And I don't know, bro. I think Ryu's advantage is still pretty good. I think Nair isn't even his best aerial. I think it's up air. I think up air is stupid.
Yeah, easily.
Up air is his best aerial. Up air is essentially his punish game, and being able to ladder and kill people super early is still pretty good. Though the mobility change is definitely important, right? But I don't know, man. I think both the Shotos are still viable. They're both very, very strong characters. I think it really just comes down to the player. And I think Vendetta is showing it with Ken, and I'm showing it with Ryu. Like, it doesn't really matter which one you play as long as you have the player skill to be equipped to play against him, you know? So, I know there are some Kens that are like, man, I wish I had Shaku. Or Ryu's are like, man, I wish I had, like, Crescent Kick. Or, like, you know,
just give us a Coma! Forth,
right?
We all be happy!
Yeah. What if they just fuse the characters together? Give me that Ryu up air, give me that, you know, that Crescent Kick, give me input roundhouse, you know, just give it all, right? No, but
bro, here's the dream. Anybody, did either one of you guys ever play Marvel vs. Capcom 1 original?
Never.
I don't think I played the first one.
Well, see, Ryu in that game had a special ability to switch his moveset between Ken and Akuma.
Oh jeez.
So imagine if we could just switch.
Dude,
like
that would be insane, dude.
Oh man.
Pilot Metro mode right here, bro.
I wanted to expand on what you both are saying, because I agree with what both you guys are saying, but there's one key point that I really want to drive home. I 110% agree that advantage state is where the meta is going, but you can't have a strong advantage state if you do not also have strong option coverage, which is like the main thing I preach like on my streams and in tournament, and not just tournament, but like whenever I'm just, you know, talking about the game in general. And what I mean by that is your ability to control space, which is easily what makes Ryu, in my opinion, so absurdly strong. Is like, he might not be able to vortex as well, but whenever he is controlling a certain spot where you have to approach, when he forces you in positions where you have to come to him, he can just blow you up, right? And that's what he's good at. Ken does it in a similar way, but he doesn't have the same control because he doesn't have the fireball, right? But he does have control in mid-range because his fireball is still usable. I'm sure Vendetta will definitely chime in on this one. Hadouken for Ken is not bad. It does its job. It does its job. No, it is not Ryu's Hadouken, but it does what it's supposed to do, and that's supposed to be a hit check tool whenever you're mid-range. Would you agree with me on that, Vendetta?
I just want people to stop saying it's bad.
Thank you.
Indirectly comparing it to Ryu's, it's so annoying, dude.
Dude, Smash players look at everything one-dimensionally. They're like, this is bad, this is good. You have to do this to win. Don't do this.
It's so
Don't do this.
cold.
It's so bad. Just play the game, bro.
Right.
So
like this, like imagine Ken without Fireball. Like I don't think it would be that much. Like it wouldn't be like a crazy difference. But the fact that he has a projectile to kind of zone like mid range actually just like does a lot. Because you think about swords, think about like swordies. It's like if you don't have a projectile, well, damn. I guess I have to approach now, don't I? It's like no thanks.
Yeah.
At least you put something on the field, right? At least there's some kind of option there. Like, what I think is really important is, like, let's say Ken has to call 4 different options, but if Ryu has a shotgun on the field, he might have to only cover 3 because jump might not be as prevalent of an option, right? So you get more chances to maybe get in for maybe less reward, right? So that's kind of how I see it. It's like, sure, Ultimate's a game of options, and being able to kind of control options is very, very huge. And then the reward and risk for both of those options is kind of weighed proportionally towards their, you know, ways to get in, right?
Yes.
So, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, like that's just in my opinion, like what makes a good Smash character is how good do you control space, how good are you at maintaining your advantage state, and you know, just like what, you know, how quick can you take stocks, and how consistently can you make comebacks when you're on your back foot, which is what makes Shotas, in my opinion, so strong, especially characters like Ken. I will say this, Ken has stronger comeback power. That's one of the biggest arguments I will say that makes Ken better, is like when he's on the back foot, like Rage Ken can always make a win happen. Ryu can as well, but it's just a slower process, right? And it's just sometimes that's not what you want to do. You don't want to drag out sets, because I can't tell you how many times I've seen a Ryu down a stock or something like that and forced to approach, and their entire game plan just falls apart.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah. Ikan.
What's up?
Did I just see you do an aerial DP? A raw aerial DP?
Okay, it was a misinput for back air. I'm not even capping. Misinput for back air. So I went for Nair. Okay, I remember this interaction so vividly. Okay, I did Nair. Okay, and then I wanted to go for a raw bear. I spun the stick around, okay, and then I did air DP. I'm like, dog, if I lose this set and go to reset because I did air DP off a misinput, I know Vendetta's gonna quake at me, and I knew it was gonna happen, dude. I knew it. Oh my god. No. Misinput. Actual misinput. Actually, yeah. Misinput's all black. Yeah. Hate it. It's all good.
All right. All right. Cool. Just to make sure.
No, you're just saying.
Oh, I didn't really say anything. I was just listening to you two. But yeah, like, so closing thoughts on the Ryu segment of this. I was going to talk a little bit. I have some other stuff I wanted us to talk about, like, you know, just the future of, you know, the FGC characters in Smash, what you guys think. That's kind of what the next segment's going to go into. But before we get into that, I just wanted to ask you guys what any closing thoughts you have about Ryu that, you know, you want to touch on.
You can
start. No, you got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he beat Ryu. I let him finish it. So, I mean, like, it doesn't Ryu. So here's the thing, like, Ryu's tools. He's still the same character, but he's like better at what he does. Okay, and I think, you know, that is what matters the most. Powerful thing, talented thing. Although it's the least meaningful, it's still meaningful. Okay. I'm sure there'll be a few times, sometime in the future, where those frame shaped off will save us from getting hit. All right. So
I can see it
aside
now,
from-
dude.
yeah.
I can see it now. You go for hard down tilt Tatsu. It doesn't connect because they're floaty. They go for a scramble. You spot dodge, jab, jab, DP. They die.
Yeah.
I can see it already, bro. I can see it.
Yeah, but dude, I think that Ryu is just like I say, he's better at what he does, but I think that's just he makes him that much more capable. I already thought he was a solo viable character. I still think he's solo viable. He just has to, put in the work for it. Having with that good neutral and just being the zoner that he is, the better zoner at least now. It's not like a crazy. It's like not like a crazy difference, but I think it's enough to kind of like give not only the character, right? Not only the character, like that boost in what they do. I think it more importantly does so for the players, the Ryu players. I think that's just gonna like boost their like the motivation, the confidence that they need to actually keep pushing the player because Ryu still does what he does. He's better at his job, but then that just means the players are gonna have to be there and keep pushing it. So I mean, I don't really have much else to say on this game. I think he's great. He's great. He's a wonderful character. People underrate him because no one plays him. So yeah.
Yeah, there are like what 4 Ryu players in the world, something like that.
Something like that. There's like you,
Probably.
Moon, Ken. I think Nito fucks around with this character a little bit. Vendetta.
Yeah, and Vendetta, Andreas. That's it.
Yeah, that's there you go.
5 Ryu players in the world. All right, sure. Oh, Maeda 6 maybe. Oh god.
There you go. All right, go ahead,
Yeah.
Ikan. It's all you, bro.
Dude. I think the future of the FGC, or I guess Ryu mainly. I think as the game goes on, people are gonna get better at keeping them out. But Ryu players are also gonna learn how to play way more reserved to learn how to get in. So essentially, I guess the answer is I don't think much is really gonna change. I think Ryu players will be a lot more disciplined in how they get their ins because I mean you have to get in to do any meaningful damage, right? No disjoints, so you have to you do your way to get in, right? And then sure, some characters might be able to, escape more certain confirms, or some players may be more prone to escape bad pressure situations. But if you just have the right option coverage and you improve yourself as a player, I think really you can deal with any matchup now. I used to say Sonic wasn't winnable, maybe not anymore, man. I don't know. I think the big thing from this past summer of offline competing was that there are so many matchups in this game. And I feel like if you just know what to look out for every single character, you'll feel a lot more content. I mean, I think one of my good friends is actually, his tag is Isahel, he's a Link player, and we played so many sets over the summer. And literally, I feel like that's a matchup where my option coverage for both of us has improved so much from June when offline came back to now in December. We're just controlling so much space, and I'm so lucky to have so many great friends in the community to just practice and grind with in Chicago. So just being able to learn those matchups and get better at it, while also improving, your own discipline, your advantage state, reading escape options, all that is going to be super important for both Shotos, really. And I'm looking forward to see what the future holds.